Hello and welcome everyone. So today I'm going to show you how to find the square root of 2024. Now before beginning with this entire solution, I'm going to show you a method with which you can find square root of any imperfect number. Any imperfect number literally without using calculator. No calculators are needed, okay? So now how do you do this? Okay, so before actually starting with this particular question, I am going to start with another one, which is, let's start with a smaller one. Okay, so this is what, let's take try to find square root of 17. Okay, so now please understand, the first step is to write 17 in such a manner that it is written with somewhere around a plus or minus of a perfect square. Okay, so as we all know, I can write 17 as nothing but what, 16 plus 1, right? Why did I do that? Okay, so for that you need to understand a concept called as exponents. Okay, so the concept of an exponent is that if 1 plus minus n is raised to a power of alpha, okay, and the property of n is that it is belonging to a real number, and mod of n or whatever plus minus is already taken into consideration, it is very less than 1. Okay, then in that case it is less than or equal to 1. Okay, in this case, so then here what I can do is I can write this entire thing in the form of 1 plus minus alpha into n. Okay, so I hope this is very clear. Okay, means the exponent comes ahead and gets multiplied with the n over here. Okay, so now please remember, here we are still at this particular point. Okay, so now 16 plus 1, I can write this 16. First let's write this in the format of what, 1 plus minus n raised to some power. Okay, so now what I can do is, let's take 16 common inside the root. Only I'm taking 16 common, so I'll be left with what, 1 plus, again there is a plus sign, so there is no need for minus over here in this particular question. And when you take 16 out, what you will get is 1 upon 16. Okay, so now for those who actually did not understand what did I do, you can just see I am multiplying 16 inside the bracket. So what I will get, 16 into 1 gets you 16, plus 1 upon 16 into 16 gets you just 1. Okay, so I am getting back to my original step. This particular step is super important. Why? Because this is actually in this format. Okay, so now let's see, I'm going back to here. So your question is now changed. So basically it was root 17. Okay, so root 17 is now can be written as nothing but what, root of 16, then we have 1 plus 1 upon 16. Okay, so now see, understand, I can take the, whenever you have a root or any number, any product under a root, you can split the root. Okay, you can write this as nothing but root of a into root of m. So using the same logic, I'll take 16 root 16 separate, and then I'll write this as nothing but what, 1 plus 1 upon 16 in another root. Now as we all know, root 16 is nothing but just 4. Okay, and root of 1 plus 1 upon 16 can be written as 1 plus 1 upon 16 raised to half. Okay, so now what you get over here is 4 into, now using this logic I am going to write this over here, applying this, because this particular format is similar to this one. Okay, so I'll get what, 1 plus 1 upon 2 into 1 upon 16. Okay, so now what you can do in this case is, we can now multiply the 4 inside. So we'll get what, 4 plus 4 upon 2 into 1 upon 16. Okay, now things are actually getting cancelled. I can say 4 ones are and 4s are get you 16. So your answer now comes out to be 4 plus 1 upon 2 into 1 upon 4 gets you 1 upon 8. So this comes out to be 4 plus 1 upon 8 gets you nothing but what? 0.125. So I can say root 17 is nothing but what? 4 plus 0.125 gets you just 4.125, and this is actually getting you the answer in terms of what? 17.01 something something. Okay, so it's pretty much very close to your answer of 17. Okay, so now coming back to our question here, like I said, we will first write 2024 in its closest form of a square. So now I know 2024 can also be written as what? 2025 minus 1. Okay, now remember, very important, you have to write this entire question in the form of what? 1 plus minus n raised to a power. Okay, so here also what I can do is I will take 2025 out, then I will be left with what? 1 minus 1 upon 2025. Now I can take the 2025 outside the root. Now please understand, 2025 is nothing but what? 45 square. I am still left with what? 1 minus, sorry, I'll just remove the root. Instead of the root, I will write it in the form of an index. So I'll write it 1 minus 1 upon 2025 the whole raised to half. So this can now be written as what? 45 into 1 minus 1 upon 2 into 1 upon 2025. Okay, next step what we'll do is we'll multiply 45 inside. So we'll get 45 minus 45 upon 2 into, see, 2025 is nothing but what? 45 square. So I'll just write this 2025 is nothing but what? 45 into 45. Now things are getting cancelled. So I am now left with 45 minus 1 upon 90. Okay. Now this is where the tricky part comes. Okay. So we are left with what? 45 minus 1 upon 90. Now remember, 1 upon 9 is nothing but what? 0. Sorry, 0.111. So obviously I can say 1 upon 90 is nothing but what? 0.0111. So your final answer now comes out to be 45 minus 0.0111 going on. Okay, 111 is recurring. Okay, therefore I can say root of 2024 is nothing but what? 45 minus 0.0111 is nothing but what? 44. Sorry, my bad. 44.9888 going on. Okay, so I hope this is very clear to all of you all. Apart from this, if you're looking for more of these examples, then I will put up a link of the same kind of a video, similar kind of a video at the end as well as in the description. So that's it for today. I will see you in the next video.